Hi, Jen here from Jen Michelle Coaching, and today I want to talk about how to recover from an affair. No matter if you choose to stay or if you decide to leave, this is a tremendous decision to make, and it is filled with so many emotions. And I just want to take a moment to share that I honor and respect whatever decision a woman chooses to make, because I do recognize that it takes tremendous courage to leave, and it also takes tremendous courage to stay. For the purpose of this video, though, I feel that it will be most helpful for a woman who is choosing to stay and see if she can reconnect and build a new foundation with her husband or long-term partner. And if you are choosing to leave, this video is not going to be helpful to offering solutions and processing around that. So let's get started. Number one, if you're choosing to stay, it's important to get support from people you trust in your life, meaning we all have the well-intentioned girlfriend who tells us, oh, you need to go or you need to do this, and it can feel like tremendous pressure when we're processing something of this magnitude. And so we want to be really selective in terms of who we get support from. Seeking support from a professional, whether it be a therapist, a coach, someone perhaps in your religion, but seeking support from a professional of some sort is really helpful, as opposed to talking about it with family members or close girlfriends, because their emotions tend to get involved, and then when we don't do what they advise, it can complicate things and leave us just feeling more guilty, more confused, and just a sense of shame around wanting what we want. And so we want to be really selective in terms of who we decide to process this with, and who we decide to just really open up to when we're dealing with something, once we know that there has been an affair and that level of betrayal. Number two, there can be a tendency for humans in general just to want to protect ourselves. And so when we protect ourselves, sometimes we don't want the full truth because it's too painful. So our instincts will sometimes tell us to sweep it under the rug, or to ignore certain behaviors or certain patterns because they're really painful to face. But if we found out that our partner has betrayed us, consider that this is an opportunity for all of the illusions to just come crumbling down. And this can feel very intense if it's all happening at once. If this is happening to you, you can notice that, what am I not facing? What am I not acknowledging? What have I been covering up by doing or over-functioning or trying to pretend I'm happy when I'm not, or overcompensate for tensions and disconnections that I felt? Where have I been not inviting the truth in? And this can be a real opportunity for ourselves to reset and remind this man of the woman he fell in love with in the first place. And so once we sort of recognize that we've been doing a lot of things so we could avoid facing the truth of the situation, or face the fact that maybe things have been growing apart, or that things have been disconnected and just falling off, we then have an opportunity to stop the behaviors that perpetuated the cycle. And we have an opportunity to hit the reset button in a way where we invite in an opportunity to build a new foundation with this man. But it starts with our self-worth, and it starts with facing the truth and giving ourselves permission to stop doing anything to cover up what is. Facing it fully and recognizing that you have the emotional bandwidth and the emotional strength within you to do this. Number three, be willing to look inside yourself but not take responsibility. So just to be clear, there is never a situation where it's okay for our partner to not communicate and choose to get his needs met outside of the committed relationship or the marriage, right? So recognizing that when I'm saying look inside yourself, this does not mean to take responsibility for his actions of what he chose to do in any way. But what I'm also saying is, where perhaps have you lost yourself a little bit within the relationship, or where have things changed? What's shifted within you? How are you feeling in recent days, months, and years? And just doing a really introspective check-in to see where things are within you and how this perhaps could manifest in the relationship. And again, this does not discount anything that he's done on his end, but I think that as women, we have more of a tendency to lose ourselves in a partnership, in a relationship, and before you know it, we're taking on more and more and more, and we've kind of lost that woman, that vibrant, that vivacious, that beautiful woman that we are underneath all the stuff that's been weighing us down. And so we want to take a look at ourselves and see how we can reconnect to her. Because remember, this man fell in love with you. He fell in love and chose to commit his life or commit to this relationship with you. And so if we've lost that woman in there somewhere, how can we get her back and really take full responsibility for our own happiness, regardless of what happens within the dynamics of the relationship? This can be a difficult thing to do when we're feeling the intensity of that betrayal. Yet as we start to claim ownership for our own happiness and we start to just bring that sense of familiarity back and reconnect to the woman that we are deep down underneath all the stress and all the stuff, we start to re-invite him in to see the woman that he fell in love with in the first place. And it also serves your healing because you're reconnecting to a part of you that's kind of fallen off, and you're getting your alignment back in order. You're getting your confidence back because you are once again prioritizing the things that are most meaningful to you and contribute to your quality of life. Number 4, setting clear expectations and boundaries. So this one is the non-negotiable. Like, the contact with whoever was involved must end, and there must be an understanding that that's a boundary that cannot be crossed, and that there has to be that willingness and recommitment to build a new foundation, and that empathy and understanding to build a new foundation as a couple. And so we want to make sure that we don't make ourselves feel like we're wrong for needing what we need. So that looks like, I need this to process this, or this is what I'm dealing with right now. I need space for it. I'm having some difficulty trusting. This would be really helpful if we could, do this together. And you make those needs and priorities that are necessary to your healing okay, and that you honor that part of yourself. And if you've been stuffing things down, or if you've been making yourself bad or wrong for being a woman that needs things, you want to really recognize that it's okay to have needs and to be able to communicate them to your partner, while recognizing you can't make him step up. But if you're building a new foundation together and the decision has been made to really connect the relationship, making sure that you don't make yourself bad or wrong for having those needs and putting those boundaries out there clearly and concisely. Number 5, rebuilding a new foundation. And this can mean, like I said in the previous steps, accessing your fun side again. Flirt with this man, enjoy this man, and he will be reminded of the woman that he fell madly in love with. This is the woman he's committed to. And men do not take that lightly. They do not want to fail in a relationship where they've made a lifelong commitment, or they've made, a decision to be partners. That's not something that they take lightly. And so we want to remind him that life is fun with us. Like, we can be beautiful, we can be flirty, we can, be that woman that we were, as we sort of recalibrate and reset the way that we've been showing up. And so we build a new foundation by shifting the way we feel within ourselves, and then we invite him to be a part of that. And it doesn't mean we don't have the hard conversations and we don't sort of have the difficult discussions, avoid anything, but it also means that there's a sense of, hey, there can be some lightness in this dynamic together. We can enjoy one another. I'm still here type of thing. And we just align ourselves with what feels really good and nourishing within us, and then we invite him to be a part of that. And you'll see that he will start to cherish your feelings. He will start to reprioritize the relationship. and he will feel safe to disclose some of his needs and some of the things that, perhaps have led to him breaking down communication and making the ultimate betrayal to the partnership. And so as we open up these doors of communication by really reconnecting with ourselves and the woman that he fell in love to begin with, we open the door for tremendous conversation and tremendous connection to not sort of put back together the first relationship, but to rebuild that new foundation. As in Gottman's work, they say, build marriage number 2, because marriage number 1 is gone after an affair. So building a new foundation from scratch based off aligning yourself with the very best version of yourself again. So I hope this is helpful to you and your situation. I know how difficult this is, and I have some resources on my site around this area. Please feel free to check them out at jenmichellecoaching.com, as well as my playlist on conflict in marriage. Have a great day, and I'll talk with you all soon. Comments and feedback welcome.